Oh, welcome, my friends. Welcome. Happy Friday. What's going on? I'm going live onto YouTube for a little while. What is going on to my friends? Welcome, welcome. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you. Let me know what you think at the end of the video. Please be kind, courteous. Please don't assume anything that you think you know. If you know me or know how to reach me, please email me or send me a message about things first. I don't need to be having long, drawn out, novel length conversations in my comment sections. Please. Thank you. We will turn that down a little bit. So welcome, hello to Friday, friends. These are basically unscheduled live events. I don't really ever really know when I'm going live. It just happened to have some time, so I just jump on randomly. So I'll be on here for a little while. We'll see when my friends show up, what's going on. Oh yes, I forgot about that. There you go. Some Under Armour socks for you. Look at those moves. Oh God. True feet of reason. True feet of reason. Welcome. Hello. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I love when my friends back up my silliness. I appreciate it. Cheers to you. Have a drink or water or something like that. Toby Craft is here. I just joined. What's up? What's up? We are basically just starting. There's only 1 minute and 52 seconds on my clock. Larry's here too. What's going on? Yes, I'm a little bit early. I have like this whole messed up schedule, so nothing is on normal time these days. I don't even know what the hell's going on with the world anymore. I've been so disconnected and in a whirlwind lately of things going on. I'm just trying to catch up and figure out what I need to do and sort of carving my own path and getting comfortable with myself, because a lot of things have, for me, have changed and I'm trying to come to grips with them. So it's been a little up in the air. I mean, if you had seen yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday, it might have been yesterday, I sold the Rotel amp, so I'm using Orchard Audio now. I did expand the decorations a little bit, so this is all changed in the system. The Arundel Towers are still here. They will be changing as soon as I can sell them. Surprisingly, the price that I've set for the Arundel Towers, nobody has actually approached me seriously about buying them yet, which is a little strange. I thought that the interest for the Arundel Towers would still be pretty high. Maybe because they're in white, they're not selling as fast, but my other friend sold his pretty quickly, so I don't know what the holdup is there. Essentially, I don't have a whole lot new to talk about. I just wanted to come in, say hello to my YouTube friends, ask you guys what's going on. If you're tuning in, if you're on a TV, I appreciate that. You can't really chat and comment from a TV. If you're on mobile phone and you're between things, because a lot of other people stream at the same time at these times of day, I apologize. I don't mean to be overlapping with other people, but my schedule is what it is, and I can't be staying up super, super late just to be the caboose to a show, because that's not going to work out for me long term. So I had to make some changes. Things are going to be a little bit different. Got to try and squeeze in where I can squeeze in, and then bring you thoughts and opinions and topics from wherever I can. Today we are listening to drum and bass. This song is playing right now through Spotify on my system. I am in the midst of trying to change up my room, where my panel started falling off the ceiling. If you forgive me, I'll move the camera around so you can see what's going on. So the ceiling tiles that I had are falling. A couple of these, the glue let go from the ceiling and started falling. So Toby Craft is, what time is it for you? Time for me right now is 7:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my percentage. So yeah, a number of the tiles here were starting to fall down. Those ones I took down. This one fell. You can see the stickers that are still there a little bit. So I need to figure out what to do with my ceiling, and I've thought about taking everything down and installing hooks. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put hooks on the ceiling and I'm going to suspend the panels. So those are panels that I made myself. I have 4 of them, but I think I have a different idea. I don't know if you've seen them before, and I'll reveal it in time. I don't mean to tease, but I don't want to give my idea away early. I have a really bad habit of doing that. Basically giving away all of my cool ideas ahead of time, so people that are out in the world are copying things that I'm doing. If it's photography or design work or anything like that, they've basically just been following along with the media work that I've done online and copying it for themselves. So, our Captain Hooks. Yes, that's what I might be doing. So let me flip my camera, say hello to the people. What's going on? It's my very, very unkept, tired face. Let me just shift my camera. I like this side better for viewing. Let me see. I'm gonna move around a little bit. What's going on? There we go. Says I'm a big. Toby Craft says I'm a big fan of the hooks. Yes. Okay. So the problem is, because it's an apartment, and I don't want to make too much of a mess on the surface, like if it's the walls or the ceiling. Um, applying hooks and drilling holes and poking holes everywhere for an apartment and an acoustic treatment thing, it's not always the best. So I've been trying to puzzle ideas and figure out what I want to do most, like how I want to manage the system. One is I have to do a lot of measurements, just spacing, angles of things. I do a lot of like graph paper and drawings on the computer for angles and stuff like that. Laser pointers to make sure everything's straight, and do the calculations in terms of the size of the room for the Schroeder frequency, which is the point at which your room starts to feed back the sounds at a lower frequency. So depending on the dimensions, your Schroeder frequency is going to be different. I have to calculate that, do a lot of stuff, math in my head, because I don't have like very good measuring microphone like UMic 1. I don't have REW. I don't use a lot of these things that would make that job very, very easy. Basically just doing it all based on the math and the frequency calculations. Also, if I change my speakers and I do a lot of this preliminary type of acoustic treatment work, and my room ends up changing and I have new speakers, that means I'm going to have to remeasure everything again. And I am not a fan of repeating myself. I might do it accidentally, but if I'm conscious of the repeating, I don't want to do it. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like having to repeat myself. Let's turn some music down there. It's actually only on 3 and it's so loud. So happy Friday to my friends. I'm trying to go live a little more often, provide some videos for my friends on YouTube. My Instagram space has changed completely. Someone on the YouTube space today and yesterday sort of criticized some of my methods and like how my Instagram channel ended up getting so many more followers and what I did to achieve that and how I talk about it. And it seems that some of these casual followers think that they know me very well enough to write me a novel and criticize everything that I've done about that scenario. But I can tell you right now, if you're only judging me based on what you see online, one, you're absolutely wrong, because what you see online is not all of the truth. So that's a fallacy all on its own. So anybody that's judging me through the internet doesn't really have a clue. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. The other thing that I am going to clarify, because I've asked and I've repeated many times that I'm not asking people to follow me. I don't ask for such a thing. whether you're going to give a thumbs up or subscribe or follow, or I do ask for comments like feedback, in which case I got some feedback yesterday, but I found that what was being said was so utterly full of bullshit that I couldn't tolerate it. It was unnecessary. The end of the statement looked like an ultimatum. It was either change or I'm not going to follow you anymore. And I was very happy to tell them to fuck right off, because I'm not here on somebody's whim. No one's paying me to do this. Nobody's giving me any money. No brands have given me stuff for free. I'm basically doing it because I want to do it. And for someone to be so like critical and analyze across platform and then say some things that weren't true at all, I was happy to let them go, because that's not what I'm here for. I can't help that people are not 100% up to date. I can't help that some people are confused by what they see online. Um, there's a lot of inconsistencies with online media. I get that. But there's also a thing called asking questions. And if you're seeing me here and you're watching this through a TV or a device, or you can't type right now and you can't ask me questions, and we have this exchange, you can't necessarily or correctly or accurately judge me unless you've asked to clarify certain things that you see. Perception is only part of the story. Your perception ends up being your reality, but that doesn't mean that it's about me. It's about what you think of me. There's a big difference. True Voice of Reason says, by the way, I see you're very close to 1K here. Here's to the future landmark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it's 56963 or something like that. So I need another 40 subscribers on YouTube to be 1,000. I don't know how that works. Honestly, my videos are what they are. If they're interesting, then people sub. A lot of the times though, people will watch the videos and it will say in the analytics how many people are subscribed or not subscribed. Most of the time, for most channels, more than 60% of the people that watch aren't subscribed. And I have a feeling because you can watch YouTube without an account in some places, you can watch the content, but you can't comment or like or subscribe, or you know what I mean? Like it's on like a work tablet or something like that, a work phone, a work computer, or a laptop at so people that are in these scenarios that watch from different places don't actually have an account to subscribe to viewers or to channels. And I get that. That's cool. That's why I don't necessarily ask for subscription. I ask for feedback, for comments. If 7 people are here, it shows me live. I only see 3 people commenting, and I'm wondering why. Why are the other, why are the other 5 people not saying anything? I wonder if that's because of TV, if it's because of circumstances, they're busy. I don't know. I don't know why people don't speak up, but I would like to hear from them, because for me, the idea of creating a community, creating a knowledgeable community, a group of people that understand one another, is to have more dialogue, to talk more, to figure this stuff out. If we're not talking to each other, then of course you're not going to understand what I'm doing. If you're only watching video clips and looking at Instagram and looking at Facebook and reading some of those posts, first of all, you can't hear my sense of humor through text. That's number one. So Instagram and Facebook are very, very lacking. And then YouTube is not even that consistent. I'm not even on here all that much, so it's a little hit or miss. So my audio content, I've got Mr. Head over here, my CD collection, and my old Axiom center channel that I don't even use. That's just a prop right now that just holds up my security camera. The Rotel is still on the way out. I am planning on updating the Rotel and the speakers. It's just going to take some time, and I can't really showcase a lot of stuff because it costs money to get it or connections to get it. And here's where the numbers come in. Mr. Judgmental that caught me yesterday trying to say I don't care about numbers and how inconsistent it is. Here's how the numbers matter. In media, marketing teams for brands like SVS and Emotiva and PSB and OSD and RBH and JTR and blah 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 blah. Everybody else that we know in the media space. All of those brands look at how many people they can get their products in front of, how many eyeballs are looking at the product. And for them, it's a number game between their return on investment and the likelihood that the number of people will generate purchases. That's the number game. Now, I know that it matters. And I've said, as I was criticized to have said, that I'm not asking for people to follow, which is true. I don't ask for people to follow. I ask for them to comment. Well, the Instagram story, if I can share some numbers with you right now. I'll go in and check my video. Check the insights. And like some of this stuff is absolutely crazy. This is going to be backwards, so I'm going to flip my camera. Here are the statistics for the video that I uploaded. Look at that. Over 2 million accounts reached. 2.9 million plays, 94.8 thousand likes, 1,600 comments, 9,000 shares. I mean, come on, those numbers are absolutely crazy. I don't even understand how that works. But that's why I'm getting criticism. Now that I've caught on to something in the media world. I've done something that generates numbers. Now I'm getting people criticizing me. The person who wrote on my wall before, whether they're watching or not, I don't even know who you are, and it doesn't even matter. The words that I was given, what was said to me about that scenario was completely wrong. Absolutely wrong. If they don't, if whoever you are, you don't like me for what I'm doing, that's fine. See you later. That's how much I don't care about those numbers. If you don't like me, then be on your way. I'm not going to dance like a clown for one person who happens to be critical. And here's the kicker. This is what I don't like. If you're subscribed, you watch, you follow, this person knew enough about my Instagram stuff, knew and followed on my my Facebook, and was bringing Facebook and Instagram information to the YouTube channel to try to criticize what I'm doing in media and sharing audio stuff across multiple platforms and saying that I'm being inconsistent. Well, I don't ask you to subscribe. I ask you to comment and say stuff. Coneman3 says, "What's up?" I see you, man. Thank you. Dealing with the community is part of what my brand is about. If you see the name Psyphonyx, Psy is from psychology or psyche, which means mind. That's what it's about. The first part of my word or brand name is about mind. It's about thinking. It's about community, about culture, about what we do as human beings. That's the first primary thing in my brand name. So for someone to criticize me based on something like whether the numbers this or that, or I mean, what's really inconsistent is that judgment call. So Mirage Bryston's here, says, "Just noticed a live. I made it. Cool." I don't know how long I'm going to be on for. I'm just chilling. I'm reiterating some details for my fan base. Not fan base. That sounds so weird to say that. Coneman3 says, "Do you got thing right?" What? I have no. Suwat's like, "A boot." Yeah, because I'm Canadian. What's going on, my man? I mean, honestly, this guy, Suwat, actually knows me. We hung out for a little while. And I'm sure he can speak more to my sense of humor and moodiness, which is true. That's part of me also. I won't deny that. He can speak more to these things than a lot of other people because we've met in person. There's a detail and a vibe that you get when you hang out with someone that you don't get when you're just reading text. So if anybody's criticizing videos in text only, of course you're going to get it wrong. I don't expect you to get it right. but I also don't expect people to go like batshit crazy on the keyboard, trying to tell me out in public or try to criticize me and say, "Hey, if you don't change, I'm leaving." Aye, aye, Captain. See you later. That's fine. I'm not sure who this is in the comment section, but I'll give you this one warning. If you don't say something that makes sense, you are gonna get removed. So yeah, I try to do my best to bring what I can to the community, and it's not. I don't find that it's my duty or my job to make sure that everybody is happy. It's up to you guys, the viewers, to either stick around or not stick around. It's up to, you know what I mean? Like, um, it's it's not really my call. I'm going to present things the way that I know and ways that I'm comfortable with and on a schedule that I can deal with, and I'm not paid to be here. So what can I do? Giga Brad is like, goddamn katana. Yeah, I have a few of them here. There's a few in my space. I have a Wakazashi down here on the bottom. These ones are katana. They're full size, 40-inch roughly. This one's a little bit taller than this one. You can see they're a little bit differences. They're basically just decoration, unless you want to break in and find out the hard way. Yeah, so I mean, True Voice of Reason said that's why I prefer the lives. It gives a sense of who we all are. Yes, agree. Coneman3 says, nice room. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that comment. It makes more sense. Yeah, I have the panels all over the wall. They're just stickers on the wall. The lights all around the ceiling. The projection light against the back wall. The mirror there is just so you can see my hand movements. It kind of works for like picture in picture when I'm doing stuff. If I'm acting or expressing myself, you can see the movements in my hands, and a lot of human communication is body language. So if I'm not on camera, then you get a sense of what I'm doing. So yes, these are for sale. The amp I'm borrowing is the Orchard Audio Star Crimson Ultra Stereo amp. I'm borrowing that for now until I get my new amp. I do plan on putting new speakers in here. My dude, what are you even like? I'm gonna have to remove you, my friend. Sorry, bruh. If I can't understand what you're saying, then it's nonsense for everybody else, and that's annoying. So sorry. Again, I'm not in it for the numbers. If you don't like the way that I'm putting you in timeout, then you can leave or you can change what you're saying. Not gonna lie, man. Panels are ass for acoustic treatments. I changed these ones for heavier recycled foam ones. Yep, I agree, and I'm changing them, 100%. The curtains are blackout curtains, so they're only dealing with like broadband high frequency and no bouncing. These are essentially just decoration. I know that they don't do anything for diffusion. I'm aware. So, yes, I agree with you. However, no one's paying me to hang panels in my room, and certainly no one is giving me free panels to hang in my room. So, don't attack me over it. Yep, Giga Brad is talking like I don't know, just like a lot of other audiophiles. We just talk about whatever we know, man, like nobody else knows. But we all know. We're all in the same hobby. We all do the same thing. So yeah, I got a couple of those foam ones on the ceiling. Those are sticking pretty good, and they're like absorption panels as well. They're only about quarter inch, half inch thick. So again, mostly looks. They're not measured to, and designed to absorb specific frequencies. I mean, the big reason is this is an apartment building. A lot of the stuff here is temporary. I mean, if we were talking about setting up a recording studio for a professional job, or if this was my house, and I owned where I am. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different conversation. That's part of my earlier point of fact where I prefer that people ask me questions before they jump in and say stuff and they make statements, because it's a broken conversation at that point. You don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know the decisions I've made. You don't know what I know. And unless we ask, then it's a waste of time. So, like, that's what I said earlier about this idea of community building, is we need to ask each other questions before we jump in and just say, "Hey, did you know the sun goes around the earth?" Like, actually, no. The earth rotates. And they look cool. That's basically all those. Yes, the speakers are made in China. The price is listed on the website. Arendal Sound 1723 THX towers. Those are the flagship towers for Arendal. Arendal. I'm not always I'm not always just going to give you every bit of information. Also, because I don't want to get it wrong. The last time that I looked online for some information, what was on the website wasn't accurate. What I reported was updated. You know what I mean? So the websites are going to have the most accurate information, and I may not have the most accurate information. So in that sense, I don't mean to be an asshole and not tell you flat out. The reason why I'm not saying it is because maybe the website has more accurate information. And like, in one point of fact, I'll say, oh, hey, they cost this much, and then you look online and it's different. Then I look like a dick because I didn't know. So apologies, but I think it's pretty reasonable for me to just direct to websites. I just saw your username. Makes sense. Have fun. You got a sub. Giga Brad has got a sub. That's cool. Hey, you know what? It really is a matter of, like, psychology, sound, the way that we are as people, what we think, how we act and interact, the things that we turn to in music, what music does for us, what it is as a hobby, as well as how we understand it and hear, our sense of hearing, what it means to us, how different it is for every individual, how subjective our opinions and taste is. It's all rolled into the same topic. And the reason why I'm not doing the same unboxing nonsense as 50 other YouTubers is because they're already doing it. How many YouTubers out there have drivers like this just sitting on the table? Maybe none. But I could talk to you about how this is made and why it's designed a certain way if people had questions. Like how big that magnet is versus the cone. Like, I'm into this stuff. I'm into what's inside the cabinet. I don't necessarily want to show you what came in the box. Like, ooh, I opened up the thing for the amp the other day, and this Orchard Audio paper fell out because everything has a manual in it. Like, surprise, like, we don't need that. We don't need we don't need 100 other unboxing specialists. It's been done. I would rather talk about some other things that are harder to get to, type of I can't tell you who makes the driver, but it is a midwoofer. That's what type of driver it is. I can't really play any music through it because I don't have any amps that are free and open right now, but it does work. I mean, it came out of a speaker that I had a while ago. So you ever think of building your own speakers? Absolutely, yes. I do have some drawings of speakers that I can't really share because I'm still in the middle of designing them. But yes, 100%, I have thought about building my own speakers. A lot of my friends that are building speakers now, like Black Ocean Audio, I will put his page on line here, show you Black Ocean Audio. I want everybody to go and follow him on Instagram. There's Black Ocean Audio. Black Ocean Audio is a designer and company out of the US. I can't focus on these. Makes some incredible speakers. They're all made out of like real hardwoods, multi-layered COS drivers, really good crossover technology. Made in the U.S. Really good friend, real cool dude. Company runs out of U.S. I'm gonna turn the music down. So he makes his own stuff in shop, all by hand. So I really, really appreciate what he's doing, and I like to shout out those people that are doing like a good job with good products. So I've shared some stuff with him before, and Nick has told me a number of times that I should start. If I'm going to do speakers, I should start making a bookshelf first. Now, obviously, I like towers. Towers look really cool. They have a lot of bass to them, but he said, to be honest, if you're going to do it yourself and you're going to learn how to do the hard parts of speaker design. One, you don't want to have a lot of materials to start with, so a bookshelf is much easier to manage and test. And some of the, I mean, two-way is a lot easier to design crossovers for. Three-way gets complicated, more expensive. So because I'm just starting out, he's encouraged me to do bookshelves first. And I don't disagree with that. However, I love towers. I may have to do something like pair bookshelves with subs, which is another complicated topic. Integration of electronics is very complex. True Voice of Reason says, ooh, Mr. Cotter, maybe you should do reboxing videos. Oh, that's funny. So, like, when I'm sending stuff out of the house, I do a video to talk about how I put it back in the box. That's funny. Wow, I just feel warm all of a sudden. It's been a pretty warm day here, like cold on my way to work, and then warmed up during the middle of the day, and then I got home and everything is just thrown off. So yeah, it's been a little weird, but yeah, I have designs for my own speakers. They're a little, some of my more ambitious designs are a little wild. I have to be careful of that. Um, I don't want to start too difficult and then give up. You know what I mean? So it's just really easy to, what was I gonna say? It's really easy to get overwhelmed, and like if you're not going to be able to continue building something or that kind of thing, you may stop. You might not try it again. It might get away from you. That kind of thing. Anyways, I'm just trying to set this thing up. So I may cut this video a bit short. True Voice of Reason says small bookshelf or desktop is a good place to start. Single drivers are pretty fun as well, but I don't like the sound of single drivers because they don't have the same high frequency that I appreciate in two-way designs, proper tweeter anyways. My first real build was age 14 with some Radio Shack 4-inch. I can appreciate that comment because I used to also build with Radio Shack brand. I used to cut up old like water beds and any piece of wood that I can find, and I would build the cabinets out of whatever wood I could find, and then I would go to Radio Shack and grab drivers and crossovers and just build them. I mean, who knows how they would have measured? That wasn't my concern. My concern was just putting it together, figuring out what it takes to actually put it together. So it gave me an appreciation of what it takes to build speakers, what goes into the quality, why it costs a lot of money, what certain things you have to be careful of. Also, it helps me understand the things that don't matter as much. Like, to a certain degree, there's certain parts on the speaker that don't make that much of a difference. They all make some difference, but it's only a matter of like how much difference. Jordan B says, how about this? You have met a lot of YouTube audio stars without naming names. Are most of them arrogant dicks or most of them good guys? In reality, most people are good people. Right? And I don't have to say any more than that because there is no such thing as all or none. It's not an absolute statement, but most people are good people. There are only ever a few of any type that we meet or hear about that make issues. They're like 10% of the whole, no matter what community you're in. So I also don't know enough about them to make any judgment calls. So it's not right for me to say one way or the other, even if I was to name names, just because I've seen some behaviors maybe once or twice. That doesn't mean I know them. That means maybe it was that day or that topic or that situation or whatever. That doesn't mean that I know them enough to make that kind of statement. That's being critical, but also honest. I don't know them well enough to make that statement. I think that most people are generally nice, that's for sure. And to whatever other degree, I have no idea. Yep. So we've been on for about 35 minutes. I think that's about good enough. So on the surface, that's the judgment. Yeah, the judgment is that they're arrogant, that they have problems, that they have, how would you summarize the type of behavior? Are they narcissistic, egotistical maniacs? Maybe. Those types of behaviors are noticeable in patterns. If you see people say some things or do some things or talk about some things, and then when you get like in-person experiences and you know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot of study. You can't judge someone through the internet like that. Like, I was talking about the person who wrote me a novel today about, oh, I'm being inconsistent and I can't follow you if you're inconsistent. Well, that's easy then. Just don't follow anymore. Stop watching. That's fine. No one's asking people to stay. Anthesius is here. Cool. Joined yesterday. Nice to see you again. Single driver speakers are one want of mine. Would you get large diameter or would you get small with like a long box? So like I've seen single driver full range in a transmission line, so you get deeper bass but you still get really good control for high frequencies. There's some there's some benefits to those. However, for me personally, I don't like the lack of clarity. I think they're very simplistic and they have like a beautiful mid range if you're into mid range. Mid range is not really where I'm acclimatized. I like things that the tweeter can take care of. Things that are higher frequency, time domain stuff, transients. If you can get the transients and the sensitivity right in the tweeter, chances are I'm going to like everything else. I'm not even a really big fan of bass. That's how weird I am as a person. My room has bass nulls that are really strange, but I appreciate the high frequency because these speakers are 92 dB sensitive. Transmission line is a want right now. Missed out on a pair of Salk Sound supercharged song towers. Really salty. Yeah, I would be too. Salt Sound is a Salk Sound has some amazing looking speakers. Really good driver tech, really cool cabinetry. I love the artwork that they put into their stuff. I haven't really heard any in person, to be honest, so that's a shame. But I do appreciate what they're doing. They were featured in a previous show a couple years ago, and I looked into the brand. They were really, really cool. Um, yeah, what else is going on? What else is going on? Not a lot. And honest, because I'm getting up at like 4:30 in the morning at this time of night, it's like 8 and I'm exhausted. So let me say goodnight. It's almost 40 minutes. Thank you to those who have joined to watch, who are watching from wherever you're watching from. I see 9 people watching in the video head, but like 2 people commenting. So I appreciate it. To those who are commenting, if you can comment, that's cool. Send me a message later on. If you see me anywhere else or if you know how to get a hold of me somewhere else, then I appreciate you doing that, to continue the conversation, to ask questions if you don't know the answer. If you don't definitively know the answer about me, what I'm doing, something I've said, a product, maybe there's an update, link me. A continued conversation is a lot better than just throwing statements back and forth. It really is. Even if you know definitively, nobody really appreciates a know it all, but we can become friends if it's a balanced conversation. So there's diplomacy to have between people, even if Copernicus was right. To go back to an earlier statement, true voice of reason knows what I'm talking about. Even if he was right, it took 300 years for the rest of the world to figure it out. Sad. And a lot of the rest of them just had to lie about the church because they didn't want to get persecuted. You know, such are the joys of being a know-it-all. The world sometimes just isn't ready to hear it. Anyways, going way back in history there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and adding copper nickels, knickers. We're not talking about clips here. Anthesius, Jordan B, True Voice of Reason. I saw Mirage here. Thank you for watching and following this video. I hope that it makes sense. I hope that my other friends that are watching rewatch and see what I'm talking about, the follow-up. Having good conversations is more important than being right. It is. I didn't know that, and I couldn't get that right for a long time in my life. But Gear Thrones, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good conversation is worth the time. Be patient. Ask some critical questions. Figure stuff out. And for the love of God, don't ask rhetorical questions. Don't ask a question to which you already know the answer, because then you sound like a pompous jackass. That's behavior. That's psychology. If you think that it's not obvious to some people how that sounds, what that tone is like, condescending, or just like, I know what I'm talking about. Just none of that. We could live with none of that. We don't need pompous, arrogant, I know everything. What are you talking about? You know, sort of condescending types. We really don't need them. And nobody really understands each other through the internet. So be kind, ask some questions, try to understand one another, and then maybe get to the details of an audio system. I mean, physics explains everything about audio, anyways. So why we have this back and forth on things, I'm not really sure. Honestly, physics has all of the answers. Maybe we should be reading physics books instead of comment sections. All right, see you guys later. Have a great night. I'm gonna go take it easy. I'm trying to figure out why I feel like warm and flushed, all that stuff. Be kind, rewind, old movie. Nice, I get it. That was about VHS tapes. I got that reference. Anyways, have a great night. Thank you for watching. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. My videos are usually random, so click notifications if you don't want to miss anything. That I can tell you and remind you. Everything else is optional. I will see you in the future. Happy Friday. Bye, everyone.